Easttown stars Kate Winslet, Julianne Nicholson, Jean Smart, Angerise Rice, and John Douglas Thompson, and it tells the story of a detective in a small Pennsylvania town investigating a local murder while trying to keep her life from falling apart. Now, this show falls into the category of the mystery thrillers, and that is arguably my favorite genre of film and television, so I was very excited to check this one out. I didn't know much about it. All I knew was that it had Kate Winslet, and it was like a mystery thriller miniseries, so I was very excited to check it out. And this show is one of the best shows on television so far in 2021. The performances are outstanding across the board. I don't think anyone gives a bad performance. There is not one single bad performance, and every performance, arguably deserves an Emmy nomination. Let's start off with Kate Winslet. Kate Winslet absolutely knocks it out of the park. This is her best performance. She is phenomenal. Along with Julianne Nicholson, Jean Smart, Angerise Rice, everyone gives such good performances. And there's also a surprise performance that with a actor that I did not know was in the show. He shows up in the second episode. I won't give it away. It is such a awesome surprise, and as soon as I saw him, I was like, oh, we're in for a ride. Alright, so it's me editing the video, and turns out the actor I was talking about is in the trailer. It's Evan Peters. He is who I was talking about, so there's just a little context for you guys. Enjoy the rest of the video. Every single scene that he is in with Kate Winslet is so good and gives an excellent performance. Again, such good performances across the board, and everyone deserves the world for all these performances they gave. When the show started off, I found the first episode to be pretty confusing and convoluted. There was a lot of characters that you're just kind of really being sucked into and introduced to very early on. So I felt like it was hard keeping track of who is who and who's related to who, and it was just hard keeping track of which characters were we actually supposed to be following and who was just side characters and stuff like that. And that's probably like my only little nitpick with this show. Episode 2 was a little clunky as well. I think because they were finding their footing, they kind of were just setting the ground and figuring out what the show was really gonna follow. And it starts off a little rough, a little slow, but once you get past those first 2 episodes, from episode 3 and on, it is just a speed ride. You have to just keep up with everything. You learn more about each and every single character, and it's so intriguing. The writing in the show is awesome. They somehow managed to make every single character really interesting and have a lot of depth. Almost every single character in the show has depth, and you really do care for them, and you want to know what happened in this town. You want to know what happened to this girl that got murdered, and who was involved in the murder, who has something to do with the murder, who has something to do with her as a person. All these little details are really important, and this is definitely one of those shows you want to pay attention to. Every little detail here and there means something later on in the show, and keeping track of everything can, like I said, it's a little rough at the beginning, but I found that it just was so much fun to keep track of who is who, and was this person involved? Was this person involved? That was just one of the best parts about the show. It's very topical, and especially I love the weekly episodes. The show is always topical, and you want to continue talking about it with your friends and family. And I love just discussing who's involved. That's, again, the best part about this show is the show is always topical, and you want to know who did what. And after each and every episode, it gives you a little bit more information that just keeps you wanting to be sucked into the show for the next couple weeks following. It's hard to pinpoint what my favorite episode is because all of them are so damn good. Episode 5 has a shocking ending that, again, just leaves you wanting more. That's the biggest praise I can give for this show. You just continuously want to know what will happen next, and it just keeps you wanting to tune in every single week. This show is so damn good with the performances, the writing, the directing, the journey of Kate Winslet's character. It's off very broken, and again, as you start to learn more and more about her character, it gets to be it's a really tough journey that this character goes on, and this show is definitely not an uplifter. The show has some heavy hitters and some tough topics you have to deal with, but it's very intriguing and leaves you wanting more. But with Kate Winslet's character, she was just such a broken character, and with her performance, arguably the best performance on television this year, her character's journey was definitely the most intriguing part of the show, and you really just wanted to see her have a good life, and you want her to move on after tragedy. So it was incredibly well portrayed by Kate Winslet, and I can't rave about this show enough. This is such a good miniseries. It's comparable to Defending Jacob, but it's defending. They're both very good shows. Defending Jacob for me fell off very quickly in that final episode, and I was worried that this show would fall off with that final episode. But luckily, it gives you a safe ending. But then there's a twist, and you're like, oh dang! And with that final episode, it gives you answers, and then it gives you more answers, and just keeps you sucked into the hour-long runtimes each episode. Such a good show, and honestly, except for that first two episodes, this show really just flies by and it doesn't drag on. It just keeps you invested each week, and this is such a solid miniseries that I definitely recommend you guys check out. I'm gonna give Mare of Easttown an A. Like I said, this show is near perfect except for the little tidbits I have with the first two episodes, and the little nitpicks. You can definitely get past those nitpicks, and this is such a good show that if you have HBO, definitely check it out. It's really solid. Thank you guys again so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, do give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Look forward to more reviews coming soon. My name is Ben. People call me Meter, and I'll see you guys in the next one.